What's up, everybody? My name is Steve. This is Claiming Christianity. Today we're going to be reviewing this. This is a Holman Handcrafted collection, large print thin line Bibles. I've been really into thin lines lately, and this is a really nice Bible if you're looking for an everyday carry Bible. So without further ado, let's get into it. Holman is putting out really nice Bibles. This is the Handcrafted collection, Holman Handcrafted collection CSB, right? Christian Standard Bible. This is the large print thin line, and it is in 2-column. This is black goatskin leather. So like I said, Holman's putting out really great Bibles at really great prices. There's a little bit about the features if you want to press pause. But let's take a look at the ISBN. So this Bible retails for $139.99. And at the time, and there's the ISBN number for you. And at the time of filming, it releases on the 15th of November. So this Bible is brand new. It has just come out. And I think it's an excellent choice for you to take a look at if you want something that's easily readable, but not huge. Okay, so it does come, by the way, I did an unboxing of this, so if you want to see exactly how it comes, like in the box, I'll drop a link down in the description for you for sure. It comes with the Holman Handcrafted collection kind of guarantee and a little bit about it there. And it is nice and floppy. You can see that really well in the unboxing, as a matter of fact. But this leather is super soft and supple. So again, it's brand new and it retails for $139.99. Right now at Lifeway, at least at the time of filming, it is $104.99. And that's a great price for a goatskin leather Bible. Okay, and this is the one in brown. There's a link in the description to it if you're interested. So before we get too far into it, it is 10.6 inches from top to bottom and 7.4 inches from side to side. And it's just under an inch thick. So this is a great everyday use Bible to carry around. And as you're about to see, there's a sneak peek. The font is nice and big, very easy to read. So like you saw, it comes in a 2-piece box with a guarantee. Very soft, supple leather. Very floppy. It's hard to show you because I can't hold it perfectly straight. Otherwise, you won't be able to see. But you're not going to have any problem with lay flat on this particular Bible. It does come with 3 ribbon markers, which I love. And my constructive criticism, and this is a personal thing more than anything else, is I would love for them to be a little bit longer. That being said, I almost didn't say anything at all because I love that they are giving us more than 1 and more than 2 ribbons. So that in and of itself is fantastic. There is some nice art gilding on the sides there. And I actually like the art gilding. After a year or two, you know it's going to start looking a little bit beat up. And I like that. You know, if you're sticking this in your car and jamming it into your backpack and stuff, the sides, of course, are going to get beat up because that's what happened. And you know what? That's what a Bible is supposed to look like, in this guy's opinion. You want it to look used. So this is what I would call a beautifully simple brown front cover. And I call it beautifully simple because there's nothing on it. It's simple, but that simplicity makes it beautiful. It doesn't have anything stamped in, as you can see, onto the front or onto the back. Just a really nice looking Bible. And then we have our CSB logo on the spine, Holy Bible, Christian Standard Bible. That's what CSB stands for if you're not sure. And Holman here. These ribs here, they're kind of stamped in. The lines of them are stamped in there. I prefer raised ribs, but I like that they gave us something, and it's not just kind of plain. So let's open up this beautiful Bible and take a look. And by the way, as I open it, I did compare this. I'm going to compare it at the end for you guys with the CSB large print personal size Bible, so you can see the difference, what a thin line and a personal size is. But I briefly compared it at the end of one of my last videos, which was the CSB Pastors Bible. The link to both of those will be in the description, just so you can kind of take a look at those. But the Bible here is tabbed into the block, so the cover is connected very strongly with this. You can see sometimes that people start to bend. See how it kind of bends in half there? That's how the Bible is connected, and it's not just glued in. This is a sewn binding. There is a little bit of a wrinkle there in the pages, but that happens. And it's going to last you a very long time. Okay. Now, we get a nice presentation page. I'm always going to encourage you all to fill this presentation page out. Write in your Bible, write who you are, write where the Bible's been, because I have a couple of really old Bibles that are now very precious to me because they're family Bibles that are over 100 years old, and I love seeing the writing in there, at least when it comes to that kind of stuff. Now here, of course, you have your legal information. Some of you guys want to see some of this, text editions and whatnot. Other ISBN numbers for Bibles that are similar to this, like the same Bible, just different colors, covers and colors for that matter. And then you have your table of contents. Now, the table of contents is your 66 books of the canon. And just an introduction there and a where to turn section. We'll take a look at that at the back. But since this isn't a study Bible, the table of contents is just the 66 books of the canon. That's all you're going to get. What you do get in the front of the Bible is an introduction to the Christian Standard Bible. So you get an introduction to the CSB. Okay, and I always suggest that you read through that in at least once in every translation that you have, because it's a fantastic thing to know what the commonly used abbreviations are, why they made certain words and translated them that way. But then we get into the text here, and like I said, we're just in Exodus, and it lays flat. I'm not touching it at all. But you can already start to see that the columns are nice and wide. So again, this is a double column paragraph format as opposed to verse by verse. But it is line matched. That's a pretty standard thing these days. And line matching just means that the line in front matches exactly with the line in back. It makes it a little bit easier to read. And in my opinion, they don't try to squeeze too many words either this way or this way. Plenty of room to underline, and it just makes it much, much more readable. So this is an 11-point font. Again, nice and big. This is at arm's distance away for me, and I have no problem reading it at all. And although we're not in the New Testament yet, 11-point font, and this is black letter text. So the words of Christ are going to be in black for those of you who like that or who need that. Just so you know, you do get your footnotes at the bottom, but this isn't a reference Bible per se. References would have a bunch of cross references with different verses to point you all over the Bible. This is a thin line Bible, so they want to try to keep it thin for you. The font is still nice and big, but you're always going to get some footnotes. Footnotes might be, this is what this word means, or we translated it this way, but a different text translated it this other way. They want you to know that. That information. So I'm going to lift it up here just for a little bit so you can take a look. It's always hard to see kind of how big the font is in the video, right? But we do our best here. The paper is on the thin side, but it's a thin line Bible. Okay. That being said, it's really nice paper. I have a hard time seeing through it. And the last couple of Bibles I've reviewed by CSB, and that's a good thing that I can't see through it. So we'll flip open to what should normally be the poetry section. Okay, you can see Psalms here, and you can see a little bit of ghosting. There's always going to be a little bit of ghosting in the gaps, but it really isn't bad considering this is a thin line Bible. The paper is slightly thinner than, super, super thick, but it's really, really nice paper. And I can see it lasting a very long time. You do get a little ghosting, but again, the line matching helps with that. And when it's just sitting here like this, I almost can't see ghosting at all, even in these sections. So I did want to mention the poetic setting here. This is what you get for the poetic setting. It's not all that different with the exception of the paragraph formatting. This is verse by verse as the poetic setting basically always is. But it's not all that different. They don't have it. Sometimes it's center column justified or whatnot. So I wanted to point that out for you guys, just so you know. And I'm going to open up to a passage in the New Testament here. Not a particular passage, but open up to a couple pages because as we see this very first page, you see how that at the very top here, my God, why have you abandoned me? See how that's in bold? Okay, that's a CSB feature. Holman has put that in their CSB Bibles, and this is one of my favorite. You can even see it here as far away as this is. This is one of my favorite features that they do here, and I don't mention it enough. All the direct quotes from the Old Testament are in bold in the New Testament. I think that's phenomenal. See, all these, they jump right out at you, and you can see how often the writers of the New Testament are quoting the Old Testament. I had a Bible before I started getting CSBs that I was highlighting. I just was going through it and I would highlight that. And then I found out CSB did it and I no longer had to continue with that project because I want to know. I want to know when they're quoting from the Old Testament because as a reminder, the Old Testament is the only Bible that the New Testament writers had. So I think that it's really neat and really unique to be able to see that as you read through this really nice Bible. This is a beautiful Bible. If it was NKJV, just because I teach and preach at church out of the NKJV, this would be my daily driver, hands down. I would switch to it right now. However, I love the CSB. I read it often. It's just not my daily driver because my church uses a different translation. All that to be said, at the very end here, we have a where to turn section. These are nice, especially in a Bible like this that you can carry around with you everywhere. If you're sitting, you want to do a little mini devotional, or you're having trouble with something when your past haunts you. You know, there's a whole bunch of different topics here that you can look up, and it'll point you to Scripture. And then the maps section. I mentioned this in the last CSB review that I did. I love the colors of the maps. If you're a visual person, which I am, this helps me a whole lot. And the colors really stand out. They really pop to me. And that's a colorblind guy. That's why I mentioned that. In some of the older Bibles, the colors all blended together and it wasn't really helpful. But I can clearly see the difference in the areas: Ephraim, Dan, Judah, Simeon. Right, I can clearly see that, and the words stand out, and the lines stand out, and I think that is something that needs to be mentioned because these places really exist. This isn't just a book of stories; it's a book of accounts. It is real live. It really happened, so it's nice to know where they happened in history. So again, this has been the CSB large print Thinline Bible. And I told you I was going to compare it with the CSB large print personal size Bible. So this is the exact reason why I wanted to show you that because the large print personal size Bible, this is an 11 1/4 font. So the font is just a tad bit bigger, but you can see that there's a substantial difference in the actual size of the Bible, right? So that's important for some people. Some people don't want a Bible that's as long and thin. It really is just a little bit thicker. It really isn't much. I'd probably say since this one we know is about an inch without going back and doing a full review, which has been done on this. I'll put a link down there. It's really only just a hair thicker. So it's probably, an inch and an eighth. So it's very carryable. It fits in your hand. Here's the difference for an adult male's hand. But let's open up and just take a look at the font sizes. They're very similar, right? Very similar layout, paragraph format, dual column paragraph format layout. Very easy to read. So the difference really, in my opinion, between if you're looking for a new Bible and you're looking for that perfect size, here's the difference is size in this Bible. Font is very similar. The way it's laid out is very similar. They have very similar features. One of them is thin line. And in my opinion, the paper in this Bible is a little bit better. But one of them is thin line. One of them is just personal sized and is a little bit smaller. Maybe you want to be able to put it into a specific case or into your purse. But I like to at least give you a little bit of a comparison there to give you an idea of what you're getting. This one is also goatskin leather. This one is not goatskin. So the price point is going to be significantly different. And so those are just two options right now. Like I said, this one's going for about $104. I haven't priced it out what it's going for, but it's going to be less than that for sure. Hey, I hope this has been value. If I've left anything out, please let me know down in the comments and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. And if you found value in this video, as we wrap up here, hit that thumbs up, maybe share it with a friend. This has been a full review of the CSB Handcrafted Collection Large Print Thinline Bible. Hey, thank you guys for hanging in there with me today. I hope I've earned the privilege of your time. I want to say a big thanks to Holman for sending me this Bible so I can review it for you. let you know what's out there, show you what you're going to get if you order one of these Bibles, because they're fantastic Bibles at a great price point. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate Holman. I want to say thank you to all those that you guys have donated and to the PayPal account down there to help me keep this ministry going and creating good, solid content. Most of all, I want to ask for your prayers. That's the best way you can help us out. And if you found value, hit that thumbs up and share it with a friend. I hope you guys have a great day. Be blessed, and don't forget, be the Christian you claim to be.